All right. Hey, everybody. This is Raul Gonzalez.
And I'm Oscar Ibieta.
And we've got a guest with us today. We've got two, actually. We've got Priscilla Lopez, who is a manager within our company here, who kind of helps agents to be successful. All right. So say hello, Priscilla.
Hi.
Hey, so I think it was a couple of weeks ago, what we decided to do is kind of put an offer out there to agents that were listening, and then we said, hey, do me a favor if you're interested, maybe even on being on the podcast and kind of telling us what your situation is and letting us walk you through them. We're here to do that. And so we had someone reach out, and her name is Leancy. And Leancy, hello, how are you today?
Hi, I'm doing well.
Awesome. Hey, do me a favor, and will you tell us what market are you in? Where are you working primarily?
In Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania.
I'm licensed in Florida, South Carolina, and Pennsylvania.
Awesome. Very cool.
Hey, do you do most of your sales? Are you mostly over the phone? Because you mentioned you're in multiple states, or do you do locally? Are you meeting face-to-face in Pennsylvania and then phone in other states?
Yeah, so right now I've gotten all those licenses for other states, but I just do Pennsylvania because of my struggles with certain things, which is why I reached out.
Well, we're happy to have you.
Yeah. Awesome. So how long have you been doing Medicare?
I started, I want to say about August of last year.
Okay.
And I just started, going through my certifications, doing my AHIP, getting appointed with all the companies, and just kind of training with my mentor at my company now. And this is my first full blown AEP, and I'm really struggling. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna help you get through it.
Things that I'm just lost in.
Okay. What? So, are you an employee of the company, or are you are you independent?
No, I'm independent. Okay. Yes. And they're just kind of like my backbone to help me out, and they provide certain resources like leads, and they have a program called Sunfire, which kind of helps me, enroll people right then and there. And it's an awesome program. I can make calls right out of there. They provide a lot of, they provide a lot of valuable resources. I'm just struggling with the contact part.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me a little bit about that. So do you have people to contact now, or are you struggling to find people to contact?
So I'm very fortunate to have the company provide some leads. Our broker manager from UPNC in this area actually provides a lot of leads for us. It's just my struggle is finding that finding the courage to make the contact with the client. That's my biggest thing. What do I say? How do I, say the client? I've had times where the client has told me, I have Aetna already. I'm good with my agent. I'm perfect where I'm at. I'm okay. So how do you shift that to kind of even have them allow you to sit with them and just compare, different plans and just open the door. I'm struggling with that. Yeah.
So is it let's kind of, why don't we role play real quick? And
Sure.
So I'm the customer, and I'm going to tell you I've got Aetna and I'm happy with it. I just kind of want to see how that goes, because you've got a lead that maybe a lead card, and so you're calling in on it.
Yeah. So hi, Raul. My name's Leancy Partain. I am with Insurance Services here in Pennsylvania, and I'm calling on behalf of UPNC. I got your information because you requested to receive information about our 2024 benefit plan, and I'm here to help you out. I wonder if you have any questions, if maybe we can set up a time to meet.
Okay. To be real honest, I'm on Aetna right now, and I'm happy with it. Is that where you're stuck?
Do you have a local agent? Do you have a local agent?
That's definitely one way. So what I like to do is I like to, when I'm going through this with people, I want your own personality to be on it, right? Because I feel like if you do it exactly the way that I would call in, it would feel like you're calling a script, or it would feel like you are inauthentic And so what we want to do is we want to be very authentic in the way that we approach this, right? So just even that initial script, definitely there's some things that I would, one, just kind of initially would recommend is smile when you're talking. And I know that's and I know there's a little nerves right now also, right? Because you're on a podcast, but that's a big part of it, and it comes across. So imagine not being able to see the individual, and there's so many things that will happen just if you're like, man. And so the other thing that I want you to do, just kind of off the bat, and I'll let everyone have a turn to give you some feedback just on the very beginning, but smiling, and then you have to, in your own head, realize that there's a reason that they filled that lead card out. And the reason that they filled that lead card out is because of the fact that there was an interest. There was something. So whatever he's saying today about just being happy, now I'm happy with that, now I'm good with it. At some point, he wasn't. And so what we have to do is kind of go back to that and try to see if we can remember or help him to remember what he was unhappy with that initially made him fill that out, right? So my response, if somebody says, "Hey, I'm on Aetna and I'm happy with it right now," I might say, "Hey, well, you know what? Here's what I recommend to people. I'm a licensed agent, been doing this for a good amount of time now, and one thing I would recommend is reviewing your benefits on an annual basis, just to make sure, even within Aetna, that there might not be a better option that maybe gives you a little bit more coverage than you have right now. So why don't we go ahead and set up a time where I can come out and sit with you and we can review your benefits." And just leave it right there.
And just wait for them to talk.
I'm not saying anything until they respond, really. They're just like, okay, yeah, why don't we just go ahead and sit there and we'll sit together and review your benefits. And I think that if you can just adjust and make that little small, there's some small adjustments, again, just assuming a big part is, in one of our top agents in our agency, he always says, like, I've got this great information for them and they need me to help them. And you've got to shift that mindset to say, you know what, that's exactly the situation, right?
That's a huge point, because a lot of times as agents, we get caught up in, we know all the information, we know all the changes, we've been tested on these things, we're certified and all that, but we have to remember that the people out there are not. And so just like Raul said, I've got this information that I need to get out to the people that are requesting it. And so you want to do whatever you can to sit down and set up an appointment with them. I think another thing that I might add to that, and it doesn't have to be every time, but sometimes individuals might think, I get asked this question all the time: what do I owe you? What do I have to pay you? And so I think it's important that we let them know we don't charge for our services. We're just happy to sit down. We're a resource to the community. We're happy to sit with you and do a courtesy plan review. Plans change from one year to the next, so it's always important just to take the time to see what's changing with your plan. And of course, we can look and see what other options are out there. If Aetna's the company that you love, we can look to see what other type of plan options that Aetna has. And if not, if you're not tied to Aetna, we can open it up. We can look at other carriers and see what other options might be available to you. But either way, Mr. Smith, it's always important that you take the time just to do a plan review to see what your plan looks like now and see what it's looking like for next year.
Yeah, and I think that in Medicare, it's important to have a balance, right? A lot of times we're told, look, you cannot be aggressive with these seniors, right? I'm sure you've been told that. And so for people who want to follow the rules, I'm one of those people that I'm like, man, I want to follow the rules. I always tell people I'm a compliance nerd. That's tell that to my own son. I'm like, I'm a compliance nerd. But that's a good thing. But it's important to not get, where you oversteer to where they're like, well, I'm happy with that now. Okay, well, have a great day. That's not what we want to do.
And that's me, because I'm just now learning the compliance. And so I'm like, oh my God, like there is so much that you have to follow. Like I'm afraid to mess up, and I don't want to get reported, and I don't want to lose my licensing. And I know that I'm not doing anything that would mess up, but it's just that fear. I guess my biggest thing is just that I'm afraid to mess up.
Yeah.
And that's what's holding me back.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick, because I think this is an important one. I think that for a lot of agents and I feel that because you and I are similar in that I can speak from a position where I've gotten over this. And what it was for me is initially I had that same feeling. And then what I want to do is evaluate the reason for these rules. Do you know why these rules are there?
Oh, absolutely.
They're to protect seniors from really bad people,
bad apples,
from bad agents.
Yeah.
And so we're always. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was with my parents, and my father got a phone call, and like I took the phone from him, and I'm like, hey, you're not a real agent, and we kind of went through this conversation, and I said no, and he was trying to sell my dad on some other Medicare plan.
Yeah.
It was really bizarre, but
yeah, what they're doing is they're protecting your parents from people like that. And so kind of keeping in mind that you're not one of those people, right? You're never going to make a phone call and tell them, hey, I'm calling from Medicare. That's what they're looking for. That's what these rules are for. And if we can, and I'm not, look, we still need to try to do everything. And we want to, dot our I's and cross our T's, and we want to do all that. But I'm also going to take that pressure off and know that if for some reason that I did get secret shopped and I forgot to mention you can change your doctor on an annual basis. That's one of the things that you have to do. I forgot about that. Well, that's not going to stop me from selling in the future. I'm going to get if I get secret shopped and that happens, all that's going to happen in that type of situation is I'm going to get a little ding, and they're going to say, hey, from now on, you need to watch this video. It explains what you need to say every appointment, and make sure you go through this training, and just don't do it again. That's the worst that's going to happen if you're not one of those bad apples that's out there. As long as you're not knocking on doors and saying, hey, I want to give you these free benefits. Let me get you that free gym membership. That's not Medicare sales. And so as long as you're not doing those types of things, you can kind of eliminate that fear. But a big part also is that we're not going to put pressure on seniors, but at the same time, when they tell you I'm happy with Aetna, realistically, is there a plan that maybe you represent, that you've got in your bag, that would put them in a better situation than Aetna? Probably, right? You probably have something that, and I'm not singling out Aetna, I'm just for most of the plans out there, like even the strongest plan here in San Antonio, United, if I'm sitting with someone and I'm looking at the benefits with them, what I am going to do is I'm going to figure out what their needs are. And I'll probably be able to find an option within the several other options out there that might fit their needs better or put them in a better situation. The thing is, I've got this great plan. It's got all these great grocery benefits, but the reality is that my teeth really need a lot of work. Well, those are conversations we're going to have with people, right? Because there's a lot of extra benefits that you can get. So I think that's one of the first things, is just kind of remembering that you're offering something to them that is great, and then think about the level of service that you're going to deliver. Lancy, do you think that you would probably deliver better service than the average agent out there? Do you care?
I believe that I can. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say that that's one of the things that helped me get over these kind of things as well, is that realistically, like, I know that they are going to be better off with me as their agent than whoever their agent is now. I mean, there's some people out there that might be better than me. Like, I can think of a couple of our agents that are, but for the most part, your average agent, they don't check in on an annual basis. They're not calling just to see, hey, how's everything going with your plan? They're not following up. They're signing them up and on to the next. So I think that Leancy offers something better, and it would be worth their while to sit with her and figure out if maybe there's another option for them where you could become their agent and they could benefit from having you, who's going to stay in contact with them and help them. So let's go on and let's talk. Where are you getting? Are they leads that are provided from your upline? Is that where you're getting leads?
Yes. So we have we have a software program called LeadStar, and they, they provide the funds, and then I start campaigns in whatever state I wish to make the calls, and they'll send them to me. So I have that. And then here, one of our, I don't want to say better plans, but UPMC is very strong here. And our broker manager also provides some leads as well. So I have the leads. I've got plenty of leads. It's just, picking up that phone and making that call and going past the, can I get an appointment with you? And my biggest thing is that they shut me down, or they're like, I don't remember filling out that card, or so like, what do I say? Transition?
You know what, if you'd like, I've got it. I've got the card here. I could text you a picture of it just to kind of help jog your memory.
Yeah, that's something that you can throw in there. I think, whenever are these mailers that are going out, or are these social media? Is it a mix between?
Yes, it is a mix between. Yes. Okay.
So one of the things that we have a couple of agents who are one of their strengths is they love to dial. And what I mean by that is they don't love it in the sense of they get excited about somebody picking up the phone and hanging up on them, or somebody saying, I didn't, they set aside time and they find a way to just say, you know what, today's dial day. And I'm going to go and block out these 3 or 4 hours, and I'm just going to call leads. And what they do, I don't know how you work through your leads, but what I might do is I might print them out. Even if you have some kind of portal or something that where you can update the leads and whatnot. I mean, I guess you could do it on a computer, but I'm just telling you what I've seen work for some of the agents is they print out these leads and then they make notes. I called them on October 20th at 9 a.m., no answer. Called again on October 20th at 1 p.m., left a voicemail or whatever it is that may be. So that way when they go, and then they just go on to the next one if they're not getting answers. And then they circle back. They come back and they cycle through them and they say, okay, I reached out to this person on a Tuesday at 9 a.m. Maybe I try again on a Thursday in the afternoon. And you try different times just to get them on the phone. That's one thing that I'd recommend doing. And I think it's just a lot of times things look good on the computer and it's fine, it's saved there. But in these situations, I think it's more effective if they do, if they're printing them out and they're writing them on there. So I would recommend doing that if that's not something that you're doing. But when you do get them on the phone, right, it's overcoming that, or somebody saying, no, I didn't fill that out, and say, look, listen, I know you get bombarded with all kinds of phone calls and spam calls from people, but I want you to know I'm not one of them. This is something that you actually filled out and requested a call from me. And so I tell the agents, take ownership of it. So don't make it seem like they requested a lead from your company. They requested information from your company. They requested information from you. And so the way that I would do it is I would take complete ownership of that and say, look, I'm looking at the card that you filled out, that I sent out to you and that you mailed back to me. I see it here that you wrote it out here, and you were requesting information. And just see what kind of response that you get from them. So if they hit you with, I didn't fill that out, or I don't remember filling that out. And it's like, well, it looks here like you filled it out on this date. And then like Raul said, I can text you a picture of it. And even if they say no thanks, or if they say no, I didn't fill that out, even after the end of that phone call, I might just take a picture, screenshot it, send it to them, and say, hey, Mr. John Smith, just wanted to share this with you. I appreciate you taking my call. Again, it's the 2024 open enrollment. Now's the time to review your benefits. We don't charge for our services. Please reach out to me if you would love to sit down and meet. And still call them back. Still come back. Send that message. Be professional. Be courteous. We can be, a lot of emotions can come in, right? When somebody's just shutting us down. Raul always kind of makes fun of me when I say I used to get in my feels when somebody would like it, because it doesn't feel good, right? Like, who wants to be told no? Who wants to get hung up on? It's not a good feeling, but you do have to develop a little bit. You've got to develop some thick skin and just be able to work through, because it's a numbers game, especially if you've got the leads. Because I'll tell you, one of the most difficult things in this business is getting in front of people, is getting in contact with people. And so finding those people who are requesting information. So if you've got leads, they've already requested that information. So you're already a step ahead of everybody else. Just get out there, dial them, and just flush it. Move on to the next one. I'm a big baseball guy, right? So I always tell people, if you know baseball and statistics, some of the best hitters, go into the Hall of Fame and they fail 70% of the time, and you're considered a Hall of Famer in baseball. So I take that and I say, you know what, I'm gonna take this same approach and I'm gonna dial, and I'm looking for those 3 out of the 10 that are gonna say yes, those 3 that are gonna say that are willing to meet with me. But not every time you go up to bat are you gonna hit, you're not gonna hit a home run, you're not gonna get a base hit every time you go up to bat. But the only way that you are going to get a base hit is if you continue to go up to bat and swing the bat. And so just keep doing that.
That's a good point of view, I think, about, what was it like if you can not strike out 3 out of 10 times, if you miss right. 3 same with Medicare. Really, it's you've got to get through the no's to get to the yes, and you got to really kind of embrace the no's. And a big part for me is thinking about the call afterwards. What could I have done different? Instead of, like you said, right? Like, instead of getting in your feelings, instead of being like kind of sad about it, what it would be like, man, what could I have said? What could I have said that would be a little bit different? So one big part too is going into it with an assumption that you want to talk to me. Mm-hmm. And look, just this is like, trust me, like once we get past this initial, like, you don't know me, I don't know you, trust me, the information I have to give you is going to blow your mind. For a lot of these people, It really will. Like, listen, there's going to be some grocery benefits that are available or whatever, whatever it is, whatever that key benefit is in your market. Like there's a lot there that I have to give you, and you're going to benefit from it. I want to ask you a question real quick though, Leancy, because I know the reason I brought Priscilla on today is because I want to get her perspective on a couple things. But have you had those calls though, where they're calling you and they're saying, hey, Leancy, I got your card from this doctor's office, or I picked up your card at this place and I need you to enroll me? Are you getting any of those, or is it all leads that you're doing?
No.
Okay.
It's all leads that I'm doing right now. I did take advantage of the fact that or UPMC and Aetna allow me to create flyers. And for every person that I have a lead, I send out that flyer with my contact information, whether it be with Aetna or UPMC. I don't single out either plan, but I just want to get that information out there, make it a little more personal. When I do have a conversation with someone, I'll send them, hey, thank you for taking my call today. I really appreciate it. I send them the card with my business card and like a little postcard to say thank you. So I try to have that connection, like with the client, but I don't know, like I just freeze up when I have the conversation. Like I make the call and it goes straight to voicemail, and I have to leave a voicemail now. And I'm like, man, I really hate leaving voicemails. I don't like it because I feel robotic in what I say. So but it's very discouraging when, I call 10 people and the 11th person picks up and they're like, oh, I'm okay, I don't need it. Or I didn't fill anything out, or they just hang up on you just blankly. So it's kind of discouraging, and I have to get up and walk out because like he says, I get in my feels, like I'm just like, man, like this is really discouraging. And I'm a mom of 2 little boys, 9 and 10. And like, it's easy for me to do this versus working a 9 to 5 and being stuck and paying for childcare, where I can just make my own schedule. So it's like, there's a reason why I started doing that.
So are you needing to work from home in order to, are you needing to, so you wouldn't be able to go out and do any marketing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So while they're at school, I've got this marketing girl from Aetna. She helps me a lot. She finds me places. I put up my tent. I put out little things that Aetna gives me, and I go out and talk to people. So I don't have a problem with the face-to-face. I'm also a notary here in the state of Pennsylvania, and I have my own business doing that. So it's weird for me to be stuck where I'm at as far as making calls, because for the last 5 years, I've been a notary. And when the market was good and COVID hit, my business boomed. I was doing refis in people's homes and not having a problem calling them up and talking to them. But it's like now I'm going through this Medicare and I'm stuck. Like, I really want to do this, but I'm stuck. So this is why I reached out, because I'm like, I don't want to be stuck. I want to do this. I can do this in 2 languages. I speak Spanish as well. So it's definitely an opportunity for me, and I see that opportunity. I just really need, I guess, a kick in the butt to get me over this hill where I can't speak to people.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, have the things we talked about, do you feel like you might be able to go in with a different attitude, with a different, with just with something a little?
Absolutely.
All right, let's try it again.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it one more time. And now, let's do this, okay, Leancy? So, ring, ring. I'm putting you on the spot. Let's do it.
Put me on the spot. Now I'm scared.
Ring, ring.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Ro. My name's Leancy. How are you today?
I'm good. Who's this?
My name's Leancy, and I'm calling from Insurance Services. I am on a recorded line. I forget that often. It drives me crazy. But yeah, I'm calling on a recorded line, and I'm calling on behalf of UPMC. You put in some information about getting information.
Let's try it again.
You put me on the spot.
Let's do it again. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put myself on the spot here, in keeping in mind that I don't actually call leads anymore. But I'm going to do it. Okay. And Oscar, you're the client.
All right.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi, Oscar. This is Raul from TMS calling on a recorded line. How are you today?
Good. I'm sorry. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
My name is Raul. I'm an insurance broker, and the reason I'm calling is I've got this lead card. You'd requested some information, and so I'm just trying to set up a time when I can come out there and go over the information with you.
I don't remember requesting any information, but
yeah,
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of people, when they fill out these cards, they forget. Probably one of the things that it mentioned on here was that there was some extra benefits that you could be taking advantage of. And so really what I wanted to do is come on out there, sit with you and review your benefits with you, and just kind of show you, hey, because of the fact that I represent like 8 or 9 different companies, what I can go ahead and do is come out and just kind of review your benefits and kind of just make sure that everything's still working just fine for you.
Yeah, no, everything's been working fine for me, Raul. I have Aetna, and it's working
That's
great.
Good. I love Aetna. It's a great company. So here's what I think we should do. Just I like to do even with my own Aetna customers, is I like to review the plans on an annual basis and just make sure that it's still working for you. So I'm kind of thinking that my schedule, I'm actually gonna be over there in that area on Thursday. Would that work for you?
I think I've got. Well, I have a doctor's appointment in the afternoon.
Let's do morning. I'll be there at 10. I'll bring some coffee.
Let me check. Let me see if I can do 10 o'clock. Yeah, 10 o'clock is fine. So do we have to meet? I mean, look,
we don't have to meet.
What's happening with my plan?
No. Well, because of the fact that you requested information, I thought it'd be a good idea for us to just review your plan, just to make sure all the benefits are still making the most sense for you. So when I think about like my own grandfather, I always think that I would hate for him to find out that he's not taking advantage of all the benefits that are available to them. So really, that's all I want to do.
Yeah,
but of course, you don't have to.
I keep hearing about people telling me that they have a grocery benefit, and I know my plan doesn't have that.
Right. So. Yeah, but you know what? There is another plan through such and such company, and they actually do have a benefit. So that's why I think it'd be a lot of value in us just sitting together and talking.
Okay.
Okay. So Thursday, 10 a.m. You like black coffee?
Yeah, black coffee's fine.
Awesome. I'll be over there. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And then just confirm the address, right? So what we're doing is those are ways, and just kind of overcoming objections, kind of assuming again that they're wanting to have this conversation with you. It makes a lot of sense. And then there's some that they might call and you just be like, no, I'm not interested. Okay, let's move on. If you get shut down hard like that, then I would move on. But here's what I want to do.
Do you still send out would you think it would be okay for me to still send out like a flyer? Hey,
yeah, because
I called you the other day. This is my information, just to kind of like make that contact. a little more
Absolutely.
realistic.
I'd even text them.
Okay.
Are you texting them like after that phone call, whether they say yes or no, or even if they don't answer, or if you haven't been able to get a hold of them? I think a good idea or suggestion would be just to text that information and say, hey, look, you filled this out and you requested the information. Please give me a call back, and happy to, we could set up a time to get together. Another piece, just kind of recapping the phone call with Raul. I know we're getting short on time here, but I mentioned a grocery benefit, right? And so one thing that agents might do immediately is they might say, well, that benefit, at least I know I'm speaking in Texas, I don't know what it's like up there, but well, that benefit's for people who have Medicare and Medicaid, or you have to have a chronic condition to get that benefit. Leave those details out on the phone call, because the objective here is you just want to get you want to be able to get in the home. You want to be able to get in front of them to sit down and present those options. But all you need is a foot in the door. Don't give too much information. If you notice, Raul didn't overwhelm me. He didn't give me a whole lot, because it leaves me wanting that information. It leaves me, there's something to be desired, right? And so that's what you want to make sure that you do. Don't give too much, because then you might lose that opportunity to get in front of them.
Yeah, if you go in with the attitude the same way that where you say, look, I'm just there to help you, there to do a review. So if anything, I come and I find out, and this is your heart. Like, if I go and I find out that Aetna actually was the best option for them, they're actually on the right option for them, then at least I know that I helped them to figure that out for another year. I've got someone else to mail to this time next year, and maybe I've developed some trust, and maybe they want to tell their neighbor who has United about their great plan. Would you do me a favor? Would you have them give me a call? I would love to be able to help them. And so really the idea for you right now, Leancy, is getting into the home. That's I think the number one for you. One suggestion that I would make is to not just focus on these leads, and maybe get out in the community a little bit more, and kind of what would just a kind of a quick 2-minute, like what would Priscilla recommend to Leancy right now outside? Because so Priscilla is great in the community and making the recommendations on how do we get active in the community. So if you want to just make some suggestions to her.
I think having leads to call is great, but it is important to have different avenues, different lead sources. And a way to do that is staying engaged in the community, putting yourself in places where you have seniors already there. For example, senior centers, senior apartments, working with them. Because remember, for seniors, you're just another agent. You're just another salesperson. And I think it's important to build that face-to-face rapport, build that trust with them, and show them that you're genuine, show them that you're the subject matter expert. And sometimes you won't get that sell right then and there, but it's important to stay consistent and go out and be active out in the community. It could be something as simple as creating a bingo at a senior apartment center. Seniors love their bingos. So it's little things like that where you are engaged with them, you're interacting with them, that help you build that foundation of trust with them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's a lot harder to just sit back and call leads, especially like it would be even difficult for me to stay motivated all day, just like in dialing, because you're right. like I'm not immune to the feeling. I don't take it so personally, but at the same time, like there's only so many no's where I can say, okay, I'm done. And so you could do two things. Like one, you can go watch a judge show, right? Like a judge TV show, and be like, forget this, I'm gonna go watch TV. Or you can get out in the community, and you need to break up your day. And that's a big suggestion that I would make to you, is when I see you out there, get out into retail, or maybe find some places where you can go out. I think that there's so much value in a smiling face, that they see you at a grocery store and you have that smiling face, or they see you somewhere at a dollar store and you set up a table and you're just smiling saying good morning to everyone as they walk by, you'd be surprised how many people just want to come and talk to you. Maybe they're looking for someone to talk to. It's a lot easier because now I'm not calling leads. Now they're coming up to me. And so I would encourage you to get out there and try a little bit more in the community. And because I think, could you call leads for 6-7 hours a day?
No, I mean, I've done it. And early on, it was something that I did to get, to get the train moving, if you will. I had to build a book of business, but I also wasn't spending all of my time, dialing leads. I think to everyone's point here, plug yourself into the community, split up your day, spend a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours dialing, but then the rest of the time have a game plan. I'm going to go and I'm going to target these senior apartment complexes in this zip code and make a list. Just get on Google, make a list of different senior apartment complexes and say, these are the complexes I'm going to visit today, and then I'm going to visit these senior centers. See if you can drop those flyers that you have. But if you can get in contact with that apartment complex manager, just say, hey, I'd love to come in and sponsor some type of event, maybe do some October birthdays.
Bring Halloween cookies.
Yep. You've got Thanksgiving, maybe raffle off a turkey. We're all self-employed, so we understand we don't have these big budgets, but if you mentioned you have some support from your
Aetna and your upline will probably hey guys, I just need give me like 3 dozen cookies, and I'm going to go to 3 different senior centers and just be like, I just want to be part of the community. And I think that's the part that maybe you're missing, because I think it's going to be a lot easier if we can get you out into the community and you're doing a little bit more of that. Then the lead calling gets easier. You can practice with even calling the people that you meet at these senior centers. You're like, oh yeah, you remember me, you saw me, big smile on my face, and oh yeah. And then all of a sudden it starts, okay, I can make these calls a little bit easier every single time. So I think that's a big part. And then I don't know, I think practice. You've got family that you could call and try to practice with, kind of like do these role plays like what we're doing. Get the nerves out and do some more practicing, and you're gonna do just fine. So,
man, it's a lot to take in, but definitely helpful. So I want to say thank you so much for putting me on the show and helping me out, because I needed it.
Yeah, we look forward to. I would love to hear back from you and know how things are going. If you've added some stuff, how the lead calls are going, and we would love to talk to you again.
And I'd say even before your next phone time, get some prep time. Maybe make a list based off of your experience on some of the objections that you've heard or over the phone from some people. Okay. Make a list of those objections, the most common objections, and think about a few key benefits or a good response, a good rebuttal that you could give them.
Yeah, have them. I think I'm thinking about the movie 8 Mile. I don't know why I always go back to that. When I think about battle rappers, I don't know why I'm thinking about battle rappers. Guys, I'm 43 years old. But listen, I'm thinking about how if you've ever seen people battle rap, it's actually kind of cool, because they're going back and forth, and none of it's written down supposedly, but a lot of it they have ready to go, and it's loaded and ready. They have certain things that go with the other. In that same way, be ready for that. So. Yeah, just right.
Leave you one challenge. I know we're let's wrap up here, but one last challenge. Find some senior apartment complexes and see if you can come in and raffle off a turkey, right? And see if you can get Aetna or your upline to maybe split it with you or to buy that turkey. But go in and do, tell them that you want to raffle off a turkey, and maybe come in and do some kind of bingo or just some kind of event where it's just, hey, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be talking about the 2024 Medicare benefits, or I'll be a resource to everyone. We're also going to be raffling off a turkey. Come by to get entered into the raffle. And that just that's your eye candy, if you will. Somebody's got to come up. You want to be in the raffle? Great. What's your name? What's a good contact phone number for you? And then make some small talk. What plan do you have? That's a great plan. Always pay them a compliment. Say, well, it's open enrollment. Now's the time to review your benefits. I'm happy to sit down with you and see what's changing with your plan. And if at the end of the day the plan that you're on is the right plan, then we won't make any changes. At least we looked into it. But if there's another option out there that can put you in a better place, I'd love to be able to have a conversation with you about that. I'll let you know if you win that raffle. I'm going to be raffling off the turkey tomorrow, or we're raffling it off on Friday. We'll announce the winner.
Yep. And don't forget to smile. So that's that's the last thing. I think it's a big thing. People when they smile, there's something special about that. People want to stop and talk to you. I notice that when people are walking by and I just smile at them, they turn, they smile back, and it just brings kind of a good energy. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. Well, hey, we would love to hear from you. I want to know in a couple months how AEP went and how you're feeling. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any other questions, any other objections maybe we didn't cover. So, until next time, everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.